Monday, August 29th. Interceding for Grace. What role do we find Moses playing here as we read about the golden calf in Exodus 32, 1-14? And it says, "When Moses failed to come back down the mountain right away, the people went to Aaron. 'Look,' they said, 'make us some gods who can lead us. This man Moses who brought us here from Egypt has disappeared. We don't know what has happened to him.' So Aaron said, 'Tell your wives, sons, and daughters to take off their gold earrings and then bring them to me.' All the people obeyed Aaron and brought him their gold earrings. Then Aaron took the gold, melted it down, and molded and tooled it into the shape of a calf. The people exclaimed, 'O Israel, these are the gods who brought you out of Egypt.' When Aaron saw how excited the people were about it, he built an altar in front of the calf and announced, 'Tomorrow there will be a festival to the Lord.' So the people got up early the next morning to sacrifice burnt offerings and peace offerings. After this, they celebrated with feasting and drinking and indulged themselves in pagan revelry. Then the Lord told Moses, 'Quick, go down the mountain. The people you brought from Egypt have defiled themselves. They have already turned from the way I commanded them to live. They have made an idol shaped like a calf, and they have worshipped and sacrificed to it. They are saying, "These are your gods, O Israel, who brought you out of Egypt." Then the Lord said, "I have seen how stubborn and rebellious these people are. Now leave me alone so my anger can blaze against them and destroy them all. Then I will make you, Moses, into a great nation instead of them." But Moses pleaded with the Lord his God not to do it. "O Lord," he exclaimed, "why are you so angry with your own people, whom you brought from the land of Egypt with such great power and mighty acts? The Egyptians will say, 'God tricked them into coming to the mountains so he could kill them and wipe them from the face of the earth.' Turn away from your fierce anger. Change your mind about this terrible disaster you are planning against your people. Remember your covenant with your servants, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You swore by your own self, 'I will make your descendants as numerous as the stars of heaven.' Yes, I will give them all of this land that I have promised to your descendants, and they will possess it forever." So the Lord withdrew his threat and didn't bring against his people the disaster he had threatened. What role do you find Moses playing here? After the people began worshiping the golden calf, God decided they had gone too far and announced that he would destroy the people and make Moses a great nation. But rather than taking up God's offer, Moses pleaded for God to show grace to his people, and God relented. Exodus 32, 1-14 raises two important issues. First, God's offer to destroy the rebellious people and bless Moses with a test for him. God wanted Moses to demonstrate just how much compassion he felt for these desperately disobedient people. And Moses passed the test. Like Jesus, he pleaded for mercy for sinners. This reveals something very interesting. Sometimes God also may allow us to face opposition. He might allow us to be in a crucible so that we, and the watching universe can see how much compassion we have for those who are wayward. What reasons did Moses give for asking the Lord not to destroy Israel? Second, this passage shows that opposition and disobedience is a call to reveal grace. Grace is needed when people least deserve it, but when they least deserve it also is the time that we feel the least like offering it. But when Moses' sister Miriam was criticizing him, he cried out to the Lord to heal her from leprosy. Numbers 12. When God was angry with Korah and his followers and threatened to destroy them all, Moses fell on his face to plead for their lives. The next day, when Israel grumbled against Moses for the death of the rebels and God threatened to destroy them all again, Moses fell face down and urged Aaron quickly to make atonement for them all. Numbers 16. In his own meekness, in his own selflessness, in the midst of this crucible, Moses sought grace on behalf of those who certainly didn't deserve it. Think about the people around you who you think are the least deserving of grace. How can you, with meekness and selfless humility, be a revelation of God's grace to them? From the book Patriarchs and Prophets, page 326 and 7, it says, Moses realized how dreadful would be the fate of the sinner. Yet, if the people of Israel were to be rejected by the Lord, he desired his name to be blotted out with theirs. He could not endure to see the judgments of God fall upon those who had been so graciously delivered. The intercession of Moses in behalf of Israel illustrates the mediation of Christ for sinful men. But the Lord did not permit Moses to bear, as did Christ, the guilt of the transgressor. Whosoever hath sinned against me, he said, him will I blot out of my book. And from the book Testimonies to Ministers and Gospel Workers, page 518 to 519, it says, God's children are not to be subject to feelings and emotions. When they fluctuate between hope and fear, the heart of Christ is hurt, for he has given them unmistakable evidence of his love. He wants them to be established, strengthened, and settled in the most holy faith. He wants them to do the work he has given them. Then their hearts will become in his hands as sacred harps, every chord of which will send forth praise and thanksgiving to the one sent by God to take away the sins of the world. Christ's love for his children is as tender as it is strong. It is without variableness or shadow of turning, the same yesterday, today, and forever. God loves the sinless angels who do his service and are obedient to all his commands. But he does not give them grace. They have never needed it, for they have never sinned. Grace is an attribute shown to undeserving human beings. We did not seek after it. It was sent in search of us. God rejoices to bestow grace upon all who hunger and thirst for it, not because we are worthy, but because we are unworthy. Our need is the qualification which gives us the assurance that we will receive the gift. May God bless you this day.